Well, good morning. We are out and about today. It is like going to be 102, and so I keep getting these notifications about the extreme heat warning, and I'm like, I didn't think an extreme heat warning was until it was like 109 or something, but maybe they're comparing it to this time of the year. I don't know. So I've been running around doing some crazy stuff. As soon as I decided to wake up, I have to tell you this funny story though. About maybe 8 years ago, I was working at this retail store, and I loved it. I thought it was great. And we hired a new gal who didn't come in and totally blew off her shift or whatever on her first day, right? And that's never a good impression. But her excuse was my body wouldn't let me wake up. And at the time, being pretty judgmental, I guess, we were all like, that's so ridiculous. Like, because typically you're looking at or thinking, this person's just irresponsible, or they're young and didn't make good decisions the night before, so now they're late and all this stuff. Well, looking back now, I'm like, God, I was so judgmental with that, because the reality is like sometimes my body just does not want to wake up. And I'm like, my God, she could have had like a stage of kidney disease that nobody knew about, or she went diagnosed or whatever. And so I feel like an ass, because I think, God, like, I don't know. Anyways, I don't think she even came in. I think she was like, I don't know that she was terminated or that she just chose to not come back because of that situation. I don't really remember, but I've always kind of felt that in my head, like that poor girl, I mean, a little bit of grace and mercy was all she needed, maybe, to have us extend that, because I do definitely know what it's like to have an exhaustion where your body just will not let you wake up. So anyhow, I am on a new adventure, which I will share at a different time, because there's a lot in my head when it comes to these videos. But I had to take care of some stuff down at the office of McGuire, which was good. Rose is in there. She's a new employee, and she's been there probably about 6 months, but I rarely go to the office, so there's rarely any issues I have. And now, thanks to the new renovations, there isn't a drop box, which I like, because I like to go in, drop my rent, and be done. I don't want to have to chit chat. But thankfully, Rose is a very sweet, kind soul, and so she's not, too much of a, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you just want to go in, drop off, be done. And she is definitely really, really nice, and a great addition to the facility. So I had to talk to her for a little bit. And then I've had this box. So you guys know that I bought a shower head from Home Depot that filters the water. And when I first started doing this about 5 years ago, it was because I was so vain that I needed my hair to not be depleted so quickly when I dyed it. And so I just always had that. Now, when I got on dialysis, it was like, wait a second, what are you doing? What's in your shower? And it's very true. Like, this thing is not the magical miracle maker across the board to sterilization, being sterile. Let's hope not sterilization. But it definitely does help your hair, your skin. It helps be a barrier against maybe excessive bacterias, and anything helps, because we always think like, wash it in water. Well, if you're using dirty pond water to wash a cut, you're going to get an infection. And so basically, because you have an open port, you want to make sure that you are staying sterile. And so that isn't a step. Well, I found the filter, because Home Depot does not carry the filter as I've seen it lately. apparently you can go online, but it just becomes so confusing. So I went to my good friend Amazon and I dialed her up and I was like, hey, do you got this? And she listed a whole bunch of ones. And so it looked so similar that I ordered a package, and it was really great price. It was like 3 of them for $18 or something. I got it here. Donnie was switching them out, and he's like, it doesn't fit. It's like slightly smaller, and so what will happen is the water will just go around it, and it won't be effective. And it'll probably force a weird spray in the shower. So it's been riding around in my car for like 2 weeks, because to take it back to the little UPS store that I like to use, it's like dead ass in the sun. And so I'm like, I just don't want to fry to death. So I'll drive by, because it's also next to PetSmart. Now PetSmart is interesting because it does have a little bit of shaded parking. And the nice thing about that is that it has a huge overhang. And so it's like, even if you have to jump out of your vehicle and run to your, to save your own life from the death of the sun, at least you can get there quickly, right? Whereas UPS, you probably have to go across the parking lot. So nonetheless, today I drove by and I was like, oh, yay, no one's even there. And of course, those ladies at that UPS store are so amazing. I have to say that immediately, because they are just so nice. I mean, I just will drive out of my way to go to that location anytime, because they're so nice in there and they don't care what they have to help you with. And because it was like 2 weeks ago that I did my first like little filey return thing with Amazon, I had to search for it, and she was all like, take your time, no worries, we're not in a hurry or rush, or life's too good to be rushing around crazy. And so I just appreciated them, I really do, because I just think that they're an amazing group. But I wanted to run into the Albertsons here to see if they have any steak-like items on sale, because I can sense that I have not had red meat in about, I want to say, maybe a week, which is really weird for me, honestly, and not healthy, because I really do need to have that. And I think that's why this morning I was so tired. Like, I remember Donnie leaving, and he woke up a little bit late, because now he can go in a little bit later. So instead of getting up at 3:30, he can actually get up at 4 or 4:30 and then leave by 5-ish and then be at work by 6. But I kind of remember him leaving, because he always kisses me goodbye. And then I do remember that I jerked awake about 5:45 and I was like, oh my God. And so I got up, got dressed, took Smokey out for his walk, and we went ahead and did our full walk, because by the time I'm about 10-12 minutes into a walk, even though I'm real tired, I tend to be able to perk up enough that it's enjoyable. And so this morning that was the case. Although, let me tell you this real quick. We're walking up, so basically north, we're headed north on Pantano, and I saw this bird in the road, and so I was like, what is he doing? And it looked like he was like flipping something around, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that's a hawk. And hawks are amazing animals and savage. Well, Mr. Hawk had actually, I don't know if he swooped in the air and got the dove, or if he found an innocent dove picking stuff up off of the road or something, and then he swooped down to get his breakfast, because that poor dove was pretty beat up. And then I thought about running out there and picking it up, but I really didn't have anything to pick it up with, just to get it out of the road, because at that point a car was approaching, and so the hawk flew up onto the lines and was watching and looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So Smokey and I went ahead and decided to just let nature take its course. And so basically a couple of more cars went by and kind of tousled the dove around, and then Mr. Hawk swooped down, and when I looked back, he was going off with his breakfast. So nature did take its course in front of me and Mr. Smokey today. Thankfully, we have not seen that coyote in days, and have had no issues with other dogs, so that's super great. But so yeah, so that's my day so far, and it's only about 10:30. I need to hurry because my exchange, or I woke up so late, my exchange time was way off, because even though I got back to the apartment, let's say about 6:20, I fed Smokey, got him settled in. Marshall was up and about because it's just a nice day, so he feels that. And so I put him outside so he could be in his little cage and get some fresh air and so forth. And then I realized, oh my God, I don't have any food for him. So I thought I better go to Fry's and pick up my money order for rent, which I paid. And then also get his food, some lettuce for him, which is he likes the spring lettuce right now. He's really into that. And I found that the dandelion that they're selling is really wilty, and I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if it was an old batch they found, because a lot of places haven't had dandelion in a little bit. And so I like to buy him live lettuces, or the ones that have like still the big root part to it. So I grabbed one of those because they're finally in stock with that. And then went to Amazon and went to the office, and now I'm going to come in here and get some red meat. Hopefully they have a good deal, because I really do feel like I need something to get me recharged. I'm pretty sure that my iron level is pretty low. So anyways, that's about it. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Drink your water, and I'll be sharing in the next couple of days the new adventure I'm on, because life is never boring with Kid A to Z.